Welcome on in Dragonfolk. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I know I am. My name is Alex, and you are all here with me in the lair. Today, we are going over such an amazing topic that I'm sure has been talked about several times, but I kind of wanted to make a nice update video to this for anybody who might be getting into Flesh and Blood as of right now in regards to collecting in the game. Now, collecting in Flesh and Blood does sometimes get a little bit difficult in regards to what you might be looking for, what packs you might be getting, so on and so forth. So what I wanted to go ahead and discuss with you all is how to go about determining what rarity your cards are, as well as what set they are from, and their foiling properties as well. So for this first section, we are going to be talking strictly about rarity and where to go about finding how to check what a rarity of a card is. In most cases, it is pretty, common to figure out what the rarity of the card is. I think most people kind of get it the first time they go around, so I'm not going to take too much time on this one, but I did want to say that what you need to be aware of is that while we're looking over these cards, I specifically chose cards from Welcome to Wraith to do this first, because Welcome to Wraith has an additional rarity in it than other sets do. Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith, the two first sets in Flesh and Blood, have a additional rarity to it, which I'll go over in a sec, that are not in other sets. So just be aware of that. But there are multiple rarities in the game, and the rarities are as follows: Token, Common, Rare, Super Rare, Majestic, Legendary, and Fabled. Okay, so what is that? 7 rarities right there, right? From Arcane Rising on, there's only 6 rarities. So starting with Crucible of War and then onto Monarch, Tales of Aria, Everfest, there's only 6 rarities. But there are some additional rarities, I guess, in Everfest and forward, so technically we're kind of almost right around the time in which there are now 7 rarities again. So, but we'll go over that later. So the general ones you're going to want to be looking for, right, is how to determine what these cards are. Well, every card's rarity can be located at the bottom of the card there. You'll notice this says WTR001 and then T down here. The T stands for token. All right, you can see it right there as token. Now that means that this card is normally at the back of a pack. Normally it's just this is just the stuff they give you for drafts. So draft sets have tokens like this, whereas in most cases you may not get tokens because tokens are more so for the draft environment. So almost just about every hero is a token hero. And then in some cases, like heroes in Crucible of War, heroes in Dynasty, heroes in Everfest, so on and so forth, their stuff is not a token. Normally they're like rares or majestics or something of the sort. So, but this is how you determine, right? So down here we see this is token, T for token. And then in the next one here, this is Savage Swing, another card from Welcome to Wraith. This is a common, notated by the C down here at the bottom middle of the card here. You'll see this C here. Then you have rare. Rare is an R over here, and that is an R. Then you have Sand Sketch Plans, which is a super rare. This is the 7th rarity that I was talking about here. Super rare cards are only found in Welcome to Wraith and in Arcane Rising, both first edition and in Unlimited. So just keep that in mind. You will see super rares in both of those sets, but kind of think of those as majestics because they have been upgraded to majestics in their previous sets later on down the road, such as History Pack Volume 1. So S is for super rare. Then the next one you're going to see is Blood Rush Bellows. This is a majestic. You'll see that as an M for majestic. And then you have Scabskin Leathers, which is a legendary. That's an L down here, L for legendary. And then you have the Fabled cards. Fabled cards are F for Fabled. Now, this is strictly for Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising first edition only. You will see the actual letter just printed by itself with the set number next to it. All right. I kind of want to just give you an idea of what they look like, and I'll show you what the rarities look like in newer product as we get onto things like Uprising and Dynasty and all that stuff. Really, I can just probably end with Uprising, and we won't have to worry about looking into Dynasty and into Outsiders or anything like that. So, of course, again, like I said, this WTR00F is only for the first edition, right? It's only for first edition stuff, and that's because in the Unlimited stuff, right? Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, this card, Heart of Findal, the Fabled of the set, got a little yellow diamond down here, right? It no longer says F near it. It's got a little yellow diamond down here, okay? And with that little yellow diamond, or gold diamond, whatever color you think it might be, that determines what a Fabled card is, pretty much from this point forward. So that little diamond down there is what you're going to be looking for if you're opening a Fabled card, or if you have a Fabled card. And the same thing goes for everything else. So again, the product changes from alpha from alpha, like first edition product, to unlimited product. There are two kinds of products for the first, I guess technically 5 sets of Flesh and Blood, right? Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, Crucible of War, Monarch, and Tales of Aria. There are 2 different kinds of products. One of them is first edition, and the other one is unlimited. The first edition product is hard to come by in most cases for Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising, and even Crucible of War is kind of expensive still. Those products are hard to get. They're some of the very first products we've had here. Very low print run numbers in their printings, so you are going to see a lot less of them on the market, therefore going for a lot more. I believe a box of Alpha right now is going for like almost $4,000 or something, so the odds of you seeing one of these cards, unless you're a hardcore collector, is probably going to be pretty slim. But if you happen to come across any cards that are from Welcome to Wraith, even if they look like this, right? If it's a rare card, right? Let's say somebody handed you bulk and they didn't realize it was Alpha Welcome to Wraith bulk. Sometimes these Alpha Welcome to Wraith stuff are things people are looking for. So this is important to kind of look out for. This is a notation of what a Alpha First Ed product looks like from Welcome to Wraith or Arcane Rising. Again, you'll see it here in Arcane Rising as well. This is the Fabled for Arcane Rising. You see it says Arc 000F for the first edition here, but if you go over to the Unlimited, it has that diamond again. And then you'll even see it here again. This is another rare from Arcane Rising for Mechanologist, and that's the first edition there. Then if you go over to the Unlimited edition, you'll see that it's got this symbol here. This is a blue circle with the letter R in it. So they added a color scheme to the rarities in Unlimited product, something that is important to note, and I will obviously be showing off with all this stuff here. So for instance, this here, this token, in the Unlimited, you'll see that it's got a gray symbol and it's got a T in it. So that is the token if you are opening Unlimited Welcome to Wraith. Same deal goes for the commons. The commons, you go ahead and go over here. It's a gray circle with a C in it for common. Then you go over to the rares, bring it on over to the Unlimited version. It's R for welcome for rare there. Then you have Sand Sketch Plans, that's at super rare. You bring that over to the Unlimited version. It's a purple circle with an S in it. Blood Rush Bellows, you bring it to the Unlimited. It is a red circle with an M in it. And then you have the Legendary, which is also a gold circle with an L. And then, of course, back to here, you have it as the diamond as opposed to it saying WTR000-F. So this is probably product a lot of people are going to be picking up as the Unlimited. So if the Unlimited product is normally what's going to be flying off shelves, unless you've been a collector for a while and you have a lot of income and you're looking to get something like a WTR First Ed box to crack open or an Arcane Rising First Ed box to crack open, you're normally not going to see them with those just letters next to the numbers kind of deal here. In most cases, you are going to see it have a symbol in here. But let's go ahead and take it a step further and show you what happens in Crew. Now, Crucible of War is where we see what we do look to be as the norm for the next 4 sets, which is Crucible of War, Monarch, Tales of Aria, and technically Everfest, if they ever come out with an unlimited product. So let's go over here to Arknight Shard. Now you'll see Arknight Shard, this is the Fabled for Crucible of War. Very hard card to get, very, very nice. And it says it's got that diamond in there, but this is the first edition product. Now, because it's got that first edition product in there, right, you would think that this and this, right, this is the unlimited version of WTR, but this is actually the first edition product of Crucible of War. That is because in Crucible of War, they did away with the hyphen letter section in their first ed product, and instead changed it up to where if the color of the, or if the shape that is on the rarity symbol is filled, like it's filled like right here, you can see the entire thing is gold, that is a first ed product. But then if you go over to the unlimited version of this card, it is just a diamond that is empty in the center. It's just hollow in the center there. That is how you determine what a card's rarity is, or what set it's from, more specifically, whether or not it's first edition or it's from unlimited edition in these next few sets. So you'll even see it here with Mangle, which is another card from Crucible of War. The M is filled like it would have been in Welcome to Wraith or Arcane Rising first edition, but in the unlimited version, it's just an M with no coloring in the circle there. That is how you determine what is first edition and unlimited from from Crucible of War all the way until Everfest, technically. That is how you determine that. So that is figuring out what is first edition, what is not first edition. Again, you'll see that in plenty of sets here. For instance, I can go ahead and show off even something like, I don't know, let's say Herald of Erudition, right? This is a card from, Monarch, right? You'll see here that their first edition product, it says first right here. I'm also using Fabrary for this. If you guys, I'll leave the link in the description down below. You can go to fabrary.net and you can look up all the cards here to get an idea of what it is. Herald of Erudition is a card that comes from Monarch. And as you can see notated by the M here, this is a majestic card in the set. The first edition product has that filled M, so you see a lot more red in the M there. But then you go ahead and bring it over to the unlimited version, and you'll see that red is gone, right? There's no more red in there. It's a red circle still, but you just see the M in the red circle. Therefore, that denotes that this is a unlimited version of the card. So first edition product tends to go for a little bit more than unlimited versions of the product, but this all is completely out the window when we start looking at future sets into Flesh and Blood 2.0, which I will certainly get into in just a little bit here. So that is how you determine what is first edition and what is unlimited. And then also you now know what the rarities are, right? And just as a reminder, from Crucible of War on, so for instance, you'll see here, like even in Crucible of War section kind of deal, you'll see that there is not going to be anything in here that is a super rare. They go right from Majestics, these reds here, you can kind of see a little bit of red there for Majestics there. So you take a look at these reds, and then it jumps right into blue for rare, right? Majestics into rare. There's no more super rares from this point forward. So if you have a super rare, that's cool, right? I don't know whether or not that's going to be worth more down the road or anything of the sort. It's just a less rare Majestic. But some super rares are really, really nice. Dorinthia's got a lot of really awesome super rares that she runs in her deck. So it is important to have them. But you're just not going to see this anywhere else. So if you're opening packs and you're like, man, I got a whole box and no super rares in it, and you're opening a box of like, unlimited, or a box of Monarch or something of the sort, and you're like, oh, I don't understand why I don't have any. This is why, right? They changed it up this way through, so you're not going to see super rares anymore. You're just going to see Majestics or rares. So now that we have a general idea about what cards to look for that are first edition and what cards to look for in Unlimited, I wanted to talk about the foiling process that you're going to find on some of these cards as well. So, for instance, Herald of Erudition comes in both the first edition and the Unlimited versions of Monarch, right? You're able to find this card anywhere. But what you can also find her in Monarch first edition only is an extended art. Now, they started doing this in Monarch, I believe. I'm not sure whether or not they started doing this in Crucible of War, but I believe Monarch is when they first started this, and they introduced these extended arts. And extended arts is, as they're shown, it's just an extended version of the card, right? This is a rainbow foil with a bunch of the text on there. That's the extended art. Now you can kind of see a little bit more of the, of the picture here, right? If you like the art, this is definitely one to have there. It's very, very nice. So, with how this works is, again, this is a product that is only available in the first edition product. You know what? I do realize that there was one for Welcome to Wraith as well. Let me go ahead and pull that up to show you. I'm sorry. I'm a liar. It was not Welcome to Wraith. It was Crucible of War. Crucible of War has Twinning Blades, so this is also... Crucible of War is when they started doing extended art versions of cards as well. They called them alternate arts, essentially, but this is Twinning Blade, and this is a first edition extended art that you can find in first edition Crucible of War only. You cannot find fun little things like this, like alternate art or extended art versions of cards in Unlimited product. You cannot find them there. So if you're opening Unlimited product and you hope to get something cool like this, you're not going to get it. The only thing you're going to get in Unlimited product is this, right? That is the only one that you're going to get. But first edition product, you have a chance at these here. You have first edition with alternate text or first edition extended arts kind of deal. And the same goes for, again, the Herald of Erudition, right? Herald of Erudition, Galaxy Black is another card that is in Monarch that has an alternate art. So any fun, spicy stuff was normally found in the first edition product. So that's where the collector stuff was the first edition product. So if you were looking for anything cool like this, or you were hoping to open packs, if you're opening first edition, keep your eye out for some cool first edition stuff. Monarch first edition is nowhere near that expensive, and you can certainly still find some for a pretty good price. But this is where all the cool stuff is going to be in there for those products. But then, of course, you move on to the Unlimited, which is just your regular kinds of cards. You do also still get all of them in the foiling treatments that you would look for, which is rainbow foil in everything, right? Everything has rainbow foil cards in them. First Ed or Unlimited all have rainbow foils. And I'll kind of show you a little bit on what a rainbow foil looks like here in a second. So I'm going to show you guys what a rainbow foil looks like, give you guys just a general idea. This is a card from Uprising that I'm going to show you because I want you guys to see that first. Let me see if I can get a good one out here. I think this is fine. You know what? I guess I have. Yeah. All right, so this here is a rainbow foil. You can kind of tell, right? It's got that rainbow foil-esque shine to it, shimmer. Sorry if the camera kind of sucks. I'm using a new one, but you kind of see it's got that shimmer. And that's a rainbow foil, right? You can find these in any product, whether it be first edition or Unlimited. You can find any of them there. First edition rainbow foils tend to go for a lot more, whereas unlimited rainbow foils tend to go for a little bit less, depending on, the user and so on and so forth. But something that we have not talked about is cold foiling. Now, cold foiling is a thing that they used specifically for first edition product only. First edition product was the only thing that got cold foil stuff. So if you were never going to find a cold foil from Tales of Aria and forward, right? If you were going to look for cold foils, which are probably the highest sought rarity other than cold foils, if you were looking for the highest rarity of a card, you could only find it in first ed product. So for instance, this is Phantasmal Footsteps, right? Phantasmal Footsteps, you'll see here at the bottom, cold first, which means that it's the first edition cold foil. But if you go on to The unlimited version, it's only in rainbow foil. Now, most of the things that are in cold foil in these products are normally equipment. Equipment and like some things here and there can be cold foil. But most of the time it's equipment. And if you pull a legendary equipment in a first edition box, it is guaranteed to be cold foil. You're never going to find it in rainbow foil. It's only going to be in cold foil. But in the unlimited boxes, they're only going to be rainbow foil. They're not going to be cold foil. And now, it's hard for me to show you kind of the general idea between what a cold foil and a rainbow foil looks like in this thing. So I'm going to kind of give you an example by showing you here on my camera. So this is a cold foil. And again, hopefully that pops pretty well. You can kind of tell that it's got almost like a metallic look to it. It does not look anything like... I'm just going to take it out. It doesn't look anything like the other product. It's got this like metallic border on it. A lot of the colors really pop in here, and it doesn't have that rainbowy look. It kind of highlights certain details on the glove. You know, you can kind of tell it highlights certain details in the glove. It's a very, very sleek kind of finish as far as a foil goes. So for something like that, right, you have a cold foil, and you have a rainbow foil. And the rainbow foil is going to have a lot more of those, obviously, rainbow colors to them. You know, it's going to... Some rainbow foils are actually really, really cool in the fact that they are showing off things like, it only does rainbow foil for, like, the weapon. Like, the weapon is more rainbow foil than anything else. And it's just kind of a fun way to go about learning, the stuff here. So, for instance, we even have that same Phoenix form I was showing you. This is an extended art version of that Phoenix form that comes in Unlimited. So there's an extended art. They also are available there. But that is what cold foiling is. So normally if it's a first edition product, so again, a way for you to tell if you have, let's say you get a card, right? And you're not sure how to go about telling what it is, right? First, check its rarity. Let's say it's a legendary. Let's say it is a Phantasmal Footsteps, right? You go down here to the bottom, you look at the the number or the letter, and you go, oh, okay, that says L, which means that it's a legendary, right? Then you need to look at the set next to it, right? Which is MON for Monarch. So I can go over all the acronyms for the sets pretty much here. WTR is Welcome to Wraith. ARC is Arcane Rising. CRU, Crucible of War. MON is Monarch. ELE is Tales of Aria. Everfest is EVR. And then you have History Pack 1, which is HP1. Then you move on to Uprising, which is UPR. Dynasty, which is DYN. And Outsiders, which is OUT. So that is how you go about determining those things. So now you know that this is a Monarch Legendary, right? But you're not sure what it is, right? You're not sure what the foiling is. It's your first time seeing a Legendary. Check to see what this symbol looks like. If the symbol is filled with the color, it's a first edition product, which means that you can then tell yourself, okay, it's a first edition Legendary, which means that this is a cold foil Phantasmal Footsteps. But if you get it and it doesn't have any color in the L, and it's just got a yellow circle and the L in it, you can then determine, oh, okay, this is rainbow foil, right? If this is assuming you've never held a cold foil or a rainbow foil a day in your life. This is how you can determine what rarity is what, and that'll help you determine when you go onto TCG Player and you want to look at something. Let's say you just want to sell the card because you're not really big on that class. You can go ahead and sell it on the market, and you can go ahead and determine what you have there based on this alone. Now, real quick, I wanted to get into Uprising. So Uprising is the first set in Flesh and Blood's 2.0 launch, which essentially means that they have, again, changed up how the set works. With Uprising and moving forward into the future, unless another change happens, there is no longer going to be a first edition and an unlimited product. So for currently at this very moment of recording, Uprising, Dynasty, and Outsiders do not have a first edition and an unlimited product. There's just one product that you can get everything in without having to worry about getting a first edition or an unlimited or figuring that whole thing out, right? That entire thing that we just talked about earlier, kiboshed, right? We don't even need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about that thing. Now, moving forward, if you're going to buy anything from Uprising or from Outsiders, even let's say you're building Azuri and you're like, oh, like I don't see any super rares in here. I don't see any, I don't see any difference in the rarities and which is unlimited and which is first ed. That's because they've completely done away with it, right? From this point forward, every card that you'll see here is just going to be filled with the color. So if it is a Majestic, it'll just be filled with that Majestic. In the red will be in the entire circle, and that is how you determine what a Majestic is. So again, gray circle with T is token, gray circle with C is common, blue circle with R is rare, red circle with M is Majestic, yellow circle with L is legendary, and then you have the Fable. And the Fable has not changed. That is still that diamond over there. You can still see this still has a diamond in it. Break this up here for you guys. So this still has that diamond in there, right? So the diamond is still there, but you're never going to see a diamond that is unfilled. It is always going to be one version of it, and this is in here, and that's just it. But the other thing that they introduced in here as well is they introduced a new rarity, essentially, for collectors, as well as they added cold foils into this product too. So extended arts, cold foils, and marvels, which is the technically third rarity you're now looking for, or the seventh rarity, sorry, that you're now looking for instead of super rare, are now included in this same box. So for instance, you'll see here Blood of the Drakai is our fabled for this, right? You see that it comes in rainbow, but it also comes in cold foil. You'll see that nothing changes about the symbol, nothing at all changes about the card or anything of the sort. The only thing that changes is its foiling process. So by now, if you know what a cold foil looks like and you know what a rainbow foil looks like, you can go ahead and do that. If you are going to want something like an example of a cold foil or of a rainbow foil, I suggest picking up really, really cheap common equipment. Even the common equipment that comes in these sets, or even the first edition sets of like Monarch and Tales of Aria, those have common stuff that is cold foil, like common to rare equipment that is cold foil. Even if you spend like it's like $1. You spend like $1 to get one of those pieces of equipment, and then you'll have an actual example of what a cold foil looks like in your hands, and it's going to help you out a lot in determining what you have and in determining the value of it in and of itself. So like I said, the cold foils and the rainbow foils are all together in here, so you're going to get those all the time. But now what we're looking for is we're looking at the special thing that technically came up in Everfest, but is more prevalent in these future sets, which are Marvels. Now, Marvels, you'll see here, this is Invoke Dracona Optimi, a majestic card for Dromai, Draconic Illusionist action. But you'll see here that when I switch it to its next one here, it's got this purple triangle down here, right? And it also says Cold Extended Art. You'll see that the entire card changes. It pushes down this text box to kind of show you more of the art. But more importantly, what it does is it helps you determine, because this card is now going to be cold foil. So when you pull it in this version, right, these don't exist in rainbow foil, which is like, an understandable thing. So they don't exist in rainbow foil. These only exist in cold foil or regular. So if you pull one of these and it's foil in any way possible, it is going to be cold foil. Anything that's got this purple triangle down there is a Marvel. And the Marvels are, every way to Sunday, cold foil. So you will see them only as cold foils. But that's because you get this. This is the backside to that Invoke Dracona Optimi, which is the Marvel card. You'll see it's still got that purple triangle at the bottom there. Still has the set number. This is the same card. It's just flipped, right? Not all Marvels are two-faced cards. It's just like this for Uprising. Specifically for these dragons, I can show you a different card that is a Marvel. So this is Phoenix Flame, another card that comes in Uprising. This is a card mostly used in Phi decks, or Draconic decks, really more specifically. And this has a Marvel version of itself. You'll see it still has that purple triangle at the bottom down there, but it's just an extended art version of itself, and it will be cold foil. So that is how you determine that as well. There's more than just one kind of Marvel. Every set has a different kind of, amount of Marvels. There's a lot of Marvels in Dynasty, and there's a lot of Marvels in Uprising, but there's only 3 Marvels in Outsiders. So that information is there as well, and that is how you can go about finding that. So now this is a new rarity that you're going to see in these future products as far as Marvels go. So the only thing Flesh and Blood 2.0 did, so from Uprising onward to our future sets, is it took everything that would have been a split thing from the first edition product and instead integrated it into an unlimited edition product, and now it's all in one box. So now you can get cold foils in the same box, you can get extended arts in the same box, you get rainbow foils in the same box, and you get Marvels all in the same box. Everything's in the same box. You don't have to worry about buying separate boxes or, trying to be on the hunt for super expensive first edition product. It'll all be in the same box, which is really, really nice. So hopefully that helps you out, right? I know I kind of went through a lot of it there and showed you guys what we had. Use some examples of my own that I've had here to kind of show you what they all look like. But that is pretty much the layman's terms. And I say layman's even though we're at like 40 minutes as far as this goes. But I wanted to go ahead and just thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really hope it was educational and that you enjoyed listening to this explanation. I know a lot of people, as time goes on, especially seeing it in other card games, when more stuff is added or things are changed, people do get kind of confused. So I do want to be aware, I want everybody to be aware that that is something that you should look out for, is the changes in the box types. So if you're just starting Flesh and Blood and you're just looking into product like, Uprising and Dynasty and all that stuff, it's all going to be in one box. You don't need to worry about a first edition or an unlimited. But with Dusk Till Dawn coming out, and I know a lot of people now getting into the unlimited versions of Monarch, because Monarch is going to be a draft that is for pre-release for Dusk Till Dawn, you will see a lot of people who have probably never opened a unlimited product and have gone, oh, well, where are the cold foils, right? Where are the extended arts? Where's the Marvels? Where are they all? They're not in here. That's because they would be in the first edition product, which I would assume not many LGSs are using for draft purposes. So, yeah, that is kind of the rarity, the first edition concept that's going on and all that. So hopefully you guys learned a lot. I know that I'm sure I'm missing something. Please let me know in the comments down below if I missed anything. I didn't get into any nuances like, Drone of Brutality only being in the first print run of the unlimited product, and it's not in any other unlimited product, except now I just did. So, whatever. We'll talk about that later, but just be aware that it's kind of the same deal. If you want the cool, awesome cold foils and extended arts and alternate arts and stuff, if there is a first edition product, that is where you're going to find it. Unlimited product is mainly for people who are just looking to play, and that is product for them. But that doesn't mean those cards are inexpensive. The rainbow foils of certain legendaries are almost as expensive as any cold foil versions of themselves. So keep that in mind as you're going through. But now you have a good idea about how to check those, how to see what the rarities are, how to tell what foiling you have, and even to check to see if you have any extended arts or anything of the sort. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate your support. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed content like this. I like talking about collecting as well as doing some small, gameplay stuff for other fun casual formats. So please let me know in the comments what you guys think you'd like to do. I also did an entire video on collecting every card from Uprising. which if you're looking to get the price point for that, if you're a master set collector like myself, or maybe you're just interested in the general price, you can absolutely go ahead and check that out and see how it works out. But anyway, that's all for me. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you all very soon. Nerd out. A big shout out to all the patrons who help support this channel in a way that I never would have expected. You guys are absolutely amazing. If anybody is looking to join our Patreon, feel free to check out the link in the description below, and you can get your name up here as well. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.